Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Cities Skylines. We're playing Green Cities. So, I think things have been a little bit slow in the last few episodes since we've been mucking around with traffic a fair bit, and you know, I get quite enthralled by that and don't realize I end an episode not really doing anything, just traffic. So what I'm going to do in this episode is I'm going to quickly finish out this section over here. Maybe add a little bit in here, but I think I'm going to keep a lot of this room for a future interchange upgrade. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a stadium to the city, and I'm thinking this space right over here would be make a good area for a stadium, and we'll see how we link that up and into a bigger development in this general area. There's obviously some kind of resources over here, so we might even transition into some sort of industrial development to this side, but we'll get to that. So what I'll do is let's quickly fill out this area over here. I don't think I want to get this area to get too much busier, because we have already had a fair bit of issues with traffic. So I don't want to get this much busier than it is at the moment. So I'm just going to do fairly simple low density expansion of what we see here at the moment. Yes, so what I'll do is I will continue to expand this area over here. Not sure, we're going to try and do something down in that area over there. What I'll do is I'll add a little bit more high density right there, and then I'm going to try, I'm not too sure how well that is going to work in general. So what we could actually do is give a little bit of a meandering route over here. Actually, let's give it a little bit like that, and then let's give it a bit of a turn. A bit of a turn over here, and that is pretty much going to be a bit of a dead end right over there. So we could do a little bit of a. Could we link it up like that? Is that feasible? That is by no means feasible. I'm taking that out immediately. That just quite frankly doesn't work. The level differences here is just insane. So what this would be a kind of a terraced area. So what we'll do is we'll grab a few of these almost lower density areas right here, and we'll terrace this area a little bit. That's not worth much, so we won't do any there. And as a final bit, I will do a little bit of a stretch of commercial right over here and up to about there. I don't want to block up that. Similarly, I think I will finish off this side over here. So let me give a little bit more, almost a bit of a higher density stretch up here, and even on the other side. Right, I think that'll work fairly well. I will plop in a few more lower density areas right in here. Actually, pull that back a little bit, and let's put a little bit of road in there. Yeah, something like that, for instance. Okay, let's claw that back right over there, and we'll fill in as such. At the same time, I'm going to grab a little bit of a pathway. Don't snap it, let's take off the snapping. I'm gonna switch that through there, so at least we got some walking routes straight through there. And I will add a little bit more right in there. That's pretty good. I'm gonna also fill it in on this side. Yeah, but not too close to the intersections. I think that's pretty much good enough. Up there, and even that one over there is pretty good. Okay, so that's a little bit done over there. What's happening on this side? I've got residential in here, so that'll fill in ever so slowly. I'm thinking about another park environment right over here. Let's see if there is anything fairly funky that we can put in there. What is this? Yeah, that looks pretty good actually. Let's pop in a little. Ooh, that gets a nice big radius. So if we put it in the corner there, we're going to stretch that entire section. So let's do that. Do a bit of a jungle gym playground area thing over there. Maybe add a few more lower density commercial buildings up alongside it. I'm going to leave the tower there. It gives a little bit of effect, especially because we're still going to have trees up along this section over here. Okay, I'm wondering whether we don't add a little bit more right in here in the form of some office space. Oh yes, snapping is turned off, so let's switch snapping back on. So if we do, okay, so let's start out with a nice straight section. So let's just get the straight road in there, and we'll just start off with a straight section like that. We'll grab this one, we're gonna kind of claw it in like that, and even up like so. And what we'll also do is we'll tie it in a little bit like so. So that's kind of like a dead end little environment. We can't actually get everybody squeezed off everywhere. And I'm wanting to do a little bit of an office park in this area. So grab me the offices. Let's run the offices in here. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's do that. Let's do a bit of an office environment right at the end, and all the way up to the railway line, like so, and like so, and like so, and there we go. So a little bit more of an office complex right here. I'm going to grab the the pathways again. Just get the snapping off of there. I'm gonna run it straight through. Actually, I should probably run it straight through there. I'm not going to build anything in here, but I might use that section over there to build a few things. I could actually fill that up with some more of this, so let's do that. And then as a final touch or touch up, I will do some commercial right in here. I'm not going to build all the way up there, and I'll fill up the rest of this with commercial up against the railway line right there, and that's all the way up against the bridge. Yeah, I'm not sure that'll do. Let's do a little small block right there. I could actually extend the commercial on this side also. Do we have water in here? Let me just double check. We practically do not, so let's do something like that. I'm gonna need to run this one down here and also in here, and that pretty much covers all the water requirements. We've got our office complex popping up here. The area is getting nice and busy from a traffic perspective, and I think that is filling out this area quite nicely, leaving a little bit of a spot over there. We can actually fill that in the future, but patches of green in this area is not bad. I think that's a good use of this space. Excellent. So there we go, and that I think that conforms fairly well to the topography over here. Obviously we've got a bit of a cut over here. We might see a bit of a terrace effect over there and finish that off. What I wanted to look at is if we should not maybe add one more section over here. So what we could do is we could actually use one of these. We've got some kind of asset somewhere. Hang on. Where asset in here somewhere where we split 1 and 1. Where is it? 1 and 2. So we do something like this. Okay. So if we take that out, we split that like this, and then we join the one up, the other one just effectively becomes. So let me have a look at how that looks. Apart from that, I don't necessarily believe I want it to look like that. So let's get rid of all of this. Okay, and let's see what else we can do. I am kind of thinking maybe what we do is we just grab the standard small one, right? This thing, a one lane one way, all right, like so. And what we do is we peel it off of there. How does that work? Okay, I see. The issue is okay. What I'll do is I'm gonna just pause it just for a second. So let me get rid of all of this stuff. I know I spent obviously a lot of time getting that in there. Ooh, almost. Okay, so give me my one way, 2-lane one way, put on snapping, give me a little bit of section like that. Okay, and then what I need to do is I'm going to grab the small ones, actually I'm going to grab the highway section and I'm going to tie, yeah, my question with that is, shall I actually tie it in? No, that looks great. Actually I think I should do something like that. I'll sort that out with move it a little bit, and on this side I'm going to do the one way, hang on, over here, okay, like so. So let me grab the move it. I know you guys aren't necessarily always too fond of me doing that, but it's a little bit to sort out the arrangement as we would kind of see it in reality. We can't get these two to be too close to each other, but something like that would work. Let's see about getting this one a little bit, we can get it assigned a little bit closer to that actually. So if we do this and we straighten up this bad boy right over here, right, then actually what we should be doing is tilting it in that way. Yeah, that's pretty good. That doesn't look too bad at all. We can get that to be fairly close to this one. It looks pretty good. Excellent, excellent. And we can tilt it in there even a little bit more. Perfect. Now on the other hand, now what we'll do is now we'll straighten up this one to try and get it to be fairly straight and aligned with this road here. Okay, so something like that. Excellent. I like it. I like it. It works. It works. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to go back to the two-way. Actually, the one-way. The two-lane one-way is what I'm thinking. Right, and now, oh, it's not quite doing what I wanted to do. So let's straighten that up a little bit more, something like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. And now all I want to do is come and bring it in here and tie it in somewhere. So let's actually grab normal roads right there. I'm gonna run that straight through like that. This is at the moment as it stands, actually, can we, no, so don't do that, just get a standard street through here. That's just, yeah, standard. So let's just run that through there, and then at the same time we can, yeah, let's just keep it one way. I think from a traffic point of view it would make sense. Oh man, so I can't actually, there we go, that's what I wanted to do. And what I'll do is I will actually do a little bit more like that, and then I'm gonna tie it in. Ooh, that's not what I want. So like so and like so. Right, that gives us a bit of a final push, and that actually puts us into this final area over there, and that gives a nice big area open for the interchange, which is good. Good. Okay, now let's fill in this section a little bit, a few more roads. Let's get something that looks a little bit nicer. So if I do just a straight section like that and like that, that's pretty good. And I'm kind of wondering if we don't do, yeah, is that okay? That looks very weird. don't necessarily think that is very workable. So let's take that out, and what I'll do is I'll just do another section over here. So in this regard, shall we do something? No, I don't think so. I think we've got enough. I think we've got enough areas right there. What I wanted to do, okay, so let's switch this back on and see if all of our roads work. Good stuff. I'm almost wondering whether that shouldn't be a bit of highway section right there. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. This area seems to be a little bit commercial, so what I'll do is I will fill in that a little bit more. Yeah, so I'll do a little bit like this to fill that, a little bit of a commercial section in there. I'm going to do a bit of office right here in this kind of environment. Okay, let's do the same kind of thing over here. As much as best we can. So we'll do a little bit of an office stretch in the center of that area. That's okay, and we will fill in a little bit more residential towards this side. I don't want this to be very, very busy, but we definitely want a bit of a mixed use environment going on. Got a bit of a commercial strip here with some offices on the sides of it. So let me actually squeeze in a little bit more. Ooh, I don't want to do that because I want to get the pathways to go through. So let us grab the pathways while we're at it. Let's take off the snapping. I'm gonna run that through there, run that through here, and run this one right through there. Perfect. So now we've got our pathways through here. I want to grab, I think I'm going to do a little bit more office in this section. Yeah, just like that. Ooh, we need a little bit of water. Let's pop that in. That's pretty good. Okay, some more office. Excellent, like so. I think that's going to be pretty good. I don't necessarily think we're going to zone that side of things. Let's pop in a few more houses right in here. Even over here, let's do a little bit of a housing section right there. So that gives us a very good, nice spread of things. Let's do some. No, let's just finish off with some office right there. That's pretty good. That section. We could do even. Don't do that. We could even do a little one like this and like that. That's pretty good. Might get a little busy over there, but I think that's it. This area, we can fill this in at some later stage. So these guys need some workers, though. There's a lot of housing going on over here, so not sure why that's being a problem. Shall I squeeze in a little bit more high density? Shall we do a stretch of high density up along here? I think it could work. So let's squeeze in a stretch of high density residential right in here next to the rail section over there. I think that's pretty good. Squeeze that in, and that's very close to, well, to the university over here. Okay, that'll fill in. Okay, now let's start looking at what we're going to plan over here for the stadium. Stadium, I find where exactly? Over here. Which one shall I do? That's pretty good. I kinda like this one. Must be placed on the roadside, yeah, of course. Something like that. Okay, so we need to find a bit of a road for it. Let's switch on the topo. Switch on the topo so we can see. Yeah, this is fairly flat, so we can easily do something like that. So what I'm thinking is we need, from a road access point of view, I would like to give it a nice fancy boulevard. So what do we have in terms of boulevards? What is that? 6-lane road with bus line and parking. So the buses are in the center, right? And it's got some trees in there. This one is 4 divided lane avenue with parking. I think I kind of like this one. So if I switch snapping back on, and if we say, well, we kind of need to align something in this general area. So if we say, how does that look? Excellent. I like the bus in the middle. It really does look good. So we can actually, so then if we do the stadium, where's my stadium? If we then do the stadium off on it like this, right? Is that precinct might be a little bit too small. So let's grab that, take that off, and let's try, of course, cutting underneath this. So what we can do is we can extend this one straight through here. Okay, so let's do that. Let's start by doing that. I'm gonna grab out some of these. Okay, so let's I'll take out that, and then we'll pull these out. Okay, so now if we run our, that should work. So if we say height too high, that's an interesting statement to say height is too high. So what are we, height too high? Okay, so let's see if we just do something standard. Do we even have standard stuff in here? That towards this side. So if we do something standard, we can actually do that. So if we then do something like this, it's saying the height is too high. So there's some kind of issue with it, that road can't actually do what we are wanting from it. So what I'm thinking then instead is let's get our asymmetrical ones up here. If I do this, right, if we do this and we've kind of got a little bit of a bridge connection that runs straight over like that, does that kind of work? No, it does not. So we'll need to we'll need to drop that railway down, that railway line down a fair bit. So now let's say if I swap this around, we've actually got our turns in there. There is a bit of a bridge section through there, so that's okay. So the only thing that I need to do is let's quickly grab the move it. Let's drop this one a little bit. So we'll page that down a bit. Where is that? Over there. Let's page that down a little bit. So something like that should be sufficient. If we drop this one a little bit more on this side, is that okay? Yeah. Okay, so there we go. So we've dropped that down a little bit more to make room for this as an arrangement. And then let me get my asymmetrical up and running again. And don't want to upgrade it. I just want to run it straight through here. And of course we're running straight through that. So what I also want to do is I want to make sure that we drop that down to, okay, so let me again grab move it, and I know, and we'll kind of move this just out of the way a tad like that, and the same thing on this side. We'll do that. There we go. So those have been moved a little bit. Maybe this one should go a little bit more. Not the 3. Okay, there we go. So now let's run the road straight through there. That's correct. It's not being any problematics. Oh, I need to drop it down actually. What is that doing? Is that raising things up a little? Very basically. So what I need to do to finish this thing off is I will just take this one and actually join it down here. So let's do, yeah, something like that, and then space already occupied, something like that. Is that okay? What I'm gonna do is again that's okay, like so. Okay, yeah, it looks funny, man. It looks extremely funny. The opposite direction, I'm just gonna run it up here, so as close as possible to this. So let's start bringing it up like that. Is that a nice, fairly natural? Wow, that doesn't look great over there, but that should work. So now all of everything else is running again. So now everybody can make their turns, go back over there, and we can tweak, grab this road over here, give me my symmetrical right here, and what we'll do is we will do that and do something like that, and then we'll take out there and there, and we'll fill that back in with this as an arrangement. So there we go. And of course what I will need to do in this regard is just tweak this one so that has some that's it. Getting that through there, that's good. That works quite well. Everybody can get back on there. I think that's okay. I might tweak it a little bit in between episodes, but I won't bore you too much with it. And now I'm thinking this is the spot for the stadium, so let me grab it. 200,000, we can quite easily afford that. What's our weekly cost on this? 4,000. Yeah, we can afford that too. That's pretty good. I like that as a setup. Ooh, hang on, before I build that, the one thing that I did, I got this thing, this 4-lane kind of tram stop thing. So if I look at that, right, so now there's a ton of tram stops right here, and I'm kind of thinking in front of the stadium tram stops like this should be good. So let's have a look how this works quickly. I don't have any tram routing, so don't now I need to build a tram thing first before I can even do that. So let's actually let's go for bus stops. I think the only thing we need to do is plop them in there, right? Can we? Oh, bus stops on the edges, not in there in the middle. Anyway, I don't think this is something that, I think we can do this in the future too. So I'm just gonna go back to what we had. Upgrade please. Ooh, cannot upgrade this. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Let's just upgrade back to that. Okay, now let me get that stadium out here. We will plop it in like this, right? Excellent. FC Barcelona, nice. That's a pretty nice stadium right there. It's very close to the train station, bus station, so we'll obviously need some bus services or something to run along this way. We need to run some water in this general direction. So that guy is up and running. We obviously need a little bit of water there for him. What I'm thinking is we need a few roads over here with some, so we can go smaller kind of roads. So something like this would be good. Give me the straight line right here. So if we do something like this as a starting point, grab me this one, and we'll extend that out, and then I'm going to go back to maybe that a little bit further away, something like that. What I want to do now is build a few parking lots around it, because that's fairly standard practice. So let me grab this, see if I can see some. Don't know if they're actually in here, the parking lots. These are just kind of intersections, blah 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 blah. So I think they're over here. Yeah, so how does that one look? Yeah, I think that's the kind of thing that I want. I don't want the big multi-stories, so something like that should probably be okay. So if I plop a few of them around like that, that looks pretty stadium-y to me. Oh, that looks actually quite well. That looks very good. Maybe what we'll do, yeah, I like it. That looks very good. So let's what I'm gonna do is, what? Oh yeah, let me plop them in here also. So there we go. That's the stadium stuff. What I'll do is I will fill out some, hang on, go back to this. What is this? What does this do? It's just the buffer park, and we can just kind of place it wherever, can we? How does that look? No, it's fairly horrible. Yes, let's take that out. I just want to put some walkways in there to finish that off, and and then we'll fill out the rest of this. Oh, people are actually hanging around. All of that pretty good. What I just want to make sure we do is get some nice tons of little paths over here, around everywhere, join on into the stadium. Actually, shall we make this better? Yeah, this looks much better if we do it this way. Okay, so let's grab some more of this. Let's well, that's probably not going to work. Let's tie that in over there, something like that. I'm kind of thinking we need to run it up alongside there. I wouldn't mind tying these together. Yeah, that's pretty good. Also up along this side. Give me the straight line. And no snapping, please. So if I run the straight line up there, yeah, that's okay. That's okay. It gives it a little bit of a buffer. I can actually put a row of trees in there. I'm going to do the same thing right over here, I would say. That ties in over there. I can put a row of trees. I'll do a similar thing. Actually, something like that. Nice. I'll have to put some trees and things in there, so that's okay. Let's start it off over here. Perfect. Now let's tie that one in there. That looks pretty good. A little bit shiny. What the hell is burning? The entire hilltop is burning down. This area burns down so regularly. Crazy. Perfect. So now everybody can get everywhere, and it looks great. I like it. I really like it. I really like the fact that you just tie in straight to everything like so, because this is very much how a stadium would work, right? Everything just ties in to the parking and etc. So the only thing that I'm probably not doing very well over here is that one and that one. So what I want to do is let's pop that up like that. So that works. This is a little bit iffy over here. So let's take out this, take out that, even take out this one. Grab that little piece over here, run it up here, tie it in there. Now let's tie this one over here. We'll have one that ties in here. That's good. Excellent. Now that's how a stadium is generally put together. We'll add a few bits and bobs. Oh my goodness, look at the time. That's the end of this episode. I might detail it a little bit in between episodes. Like, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of detailing, but I might detail it a little bit. And then we need to get some transport out over here and expand this area. I'm thinking a nice little residential precinct right here. Maybe a little bit of an office complex. I don't know. We'll have a look. Okay, guys, I'm ExactChaos, and this has been Cities Skylines. Exactly. If you've liked this episode, please give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe to the channel if you like my stuff. Everything's burning, man. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.